My son drained my bank account and took his wife and her mother to Rome. I just smiled to myself, and 3 days later he called me sobbing. "Mom, what did you do?" My retribution was complete. My name is Eleanor Ellie Price, and on the day I needed to breathe the most, my son took every single dollar I had without leaving even a note. I was sitting in my old, worn cloth armchair, the one I bought when Jackson turned 7. My phone buzzed, a notification appeared. Available balance, $0. I read it once, twice, 4 times. My hands trembled, not from age, but from a truth my heart refused to accept. I called the bank. A robot answered, then a human. They told me the transfers had been made online, wire transfers, over $80,000. My life's work, my entire safety, gone. "And where did the money go?" I whispered. "All of it, Mom, was transferred to an account under the name Jackson Arthur Price." I didn't answer. I hung up. The house fell silent, except for the ticking kitchen clock and the buzz of a dying light bulb. Then the landline rang. "Ellie, honey, did you see your Jackson's Instagram?" It was my neighbor Doris, too excited for her own good. "He's in Rome, child, eating fancy food with his wife and her mother. They look like movie stars." My soul left my body for a moment. I opened my old smartphone, searched for my son's profile, and there he was, smiling, laughing, holding a glass of wine. The caption read, "Rome, my new beginning. I deserve this." And in the comments, his wife wrote, "Good things come to those who wait. Thanks for everything, mama-in-law," with a money emoji. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I simply stood there, holding the phone like a burning brick. Then, quietly, I smiled. But it wasn't a mother's smile. It was the smile of a woman who finally understands the truth, after denying it for too long. Meanwhile, in Rome, Jackson raised a glass without guilt. Tanya smirked and said, "It was a good idea taking the money. She's going to die soon anyway. Better we use it before she wastes it on medical bills." Her mother laughed. "That clueless old lady doesn't even know what a plane is." Jackson didn't speak, but something inside him had started to turn. That night, under the flickering streetlights of South Central Los Angeles, I picked up my notebook and wrote, "This is not the end. It is the beginning of my silence, and my silence will hurt more than any scream." I slept peacefully for the first time in years. But in Rome, as my son lay in his hotel bed, his phone buzzed. "Account blocked due to suspicious activity." "What?" he whispered. The first crack had formed, and he didn't know that his mother had already begun to move. Sometimes pain doesn't scream. Sometimes pain sits, waits, and strikes at the perfect moment. The next morning, I woke up changed, not angry, not broken, just done. I remembered my childhood, working at 14, raising my son alone, selling the only land my daddy left me so he could go to college. Every dish I cooked for him, every shirt I ironed, every tear I hid. And I remembered the day Tanya said my home looked like a shelter, and the day Jackson told the doorman never to let me visit unannounced. I remembered everything. And in Rome, Jackson overheard Tanya whisper on the balcony, "Yes, we did it. The money is here. Tomorrow we open the account in Spain, and then we get rid of Jackson. He thinks I love him. Such a fool." Jackson froze. His world shattered. But it wasn't even the worst part, because I'd already gone to Walter, my childhood friend, a retired lawyer. He found the forged signatures, the fake authorizations, the illegal joint account, and together, we started to undo everything they thought they had won. Because a wounded mother can be dangerous, but a mother who has nothing left to lose, she is unstoppable. My son betrayed me. His wife planned to abandon him, and the world thought I would remain quiet. But they forgot one simple truth. What mothers keep silent can destroy entire lives. And mine was only getting started. No Martha Hale stared at her dining table, the same table where she had sliced vegetables, paid bills, and packed lunches for her son Noah for 30 years. But today, only one line on the bank statement mattered. Account balance, $3.27. Her hands didn't shake because of age. They shook because a mother's heart knows when something sacred has been broken. She called the bank, a long hold, mechanical music, a robotic voice, and finally, a human agent. Mum, the transfers were made from your family trust account, $94,000. Beneficiary, Noah Hale. Would you like to file a fraud report? Martha didn't answer. She simply hung up. The house fell silent. The kind of silence that doesn't comfort, the kind that slices. Moments later, her phone lit up. Noah Hale, new post. Santorini we. In the photo, Noah smiled at the ocean. His wife Celeste leaned on his shoulder. Behind them stood Celeste's brother, Adrian. The caption read, "Grateful, money well spent." Martha felt the air slip out of her lungs, but she didn't collapse. She didn't cry. Instead, she smiled. Not the smile of a mother, the smile of a storm awakening. 3 days later, Santorini. Noah's phone buzzed. Account flagged for investigation, all funds frozen. What? He shouted. Celeste rolled her eyes. What did your prehistoric mother do now? Noah felt a chill crawl up his spine. For the first time, he understood. He had made a terrible mistake, and Martha had only just begun. Back in the United States, Martha walked into her small public library and opened an old notebook. Inside were memories, Noah's first steps, his school notes, receipts from the sacrifices she made for him. On the last page she had written, "My son has forgotten me, but he will remember the consequences." What Noah didn't know was this. 20 years earlier, after her husband died, Martha created a family trust. A trust with one rule. No beneficiary could receive a single dollar without the trustee's approval, and the trustee was Martha. Celeste and Adrian forged her signature, yes, but they accessed the wrong account. They tried to cheat a system built by a mother who had learned the cost of being naive. Now, everything they touched was under legal investigation. Everything they stole, frozen. Santorini. Noah's credit cards stopped working. His hotel declined extensions. Everywhere he tried to pay, declined, declined, declined. Celeste screamed at him, "This is humiliating. Fix it." But Noah couldn't. And Celeste? She grabbed her bags, took Noah's passport and wallet, and disappeared with Adrian that same night. For the first time in his life, Noah was alone. He broke down on the white steps of Santorini, a man who had traded his mother's love for someone else's lies. Back home, Martha sat by her window as the room filled with golden evening light. Her phone rang. Noah, sobbing, "Mum, what did you do? Why is everything frozen? They said I committed fraud. Mum, please, please help me." Martha didn't look away from the window. Her voice was calm. "Noah, this wasn't me. This is what you did." "Mum, please, I have nothing." Martha breathed slowly, the way someone breathes when the pain is finally over. "You are feeling what I felt, and this is only the beginning." Then she added softly but firmly, "I taught you that mistakes require apologies. But today I'm giving you the last lesson of your life. A punishment is something we create for ourselves." And Martha hung up, not in anger, but in peace. That night she slept better than she had in years, because sometimes a mother doesn't need to shout. Sometimes her silence is enough to shake the world. Noah Hale landed at JFK Airport with a plastic bag of returned items, a dead phone, and the bitter taste of abandonment still clinging to him. He looked nothing like the man who had left for Santorini a week earlier. His hair was unwashed, his shirt wrinkled, his shoes dusty with island dirt. As he walked through the arrivals hall, people passed around him, busy with their lives. He felt invisible, and for the first time he understood why Martha had stopped expecting him to visit. He scanned the crowd, hoping Martha might be waiting. But she wasn't. A mother's heart had limits, after all. Noah stepped outside, shivering in the December air. He had no wallet, no money, no functioning credit, and nowhere to go. For a moment, he thought about calling Martha again, but he couldn't bring himself to. The shame was too heavy. Instead, he walked. Miles later, his feet aching, Noah reached his old neighborhood. He passed the bakery where Martha used to buy him birthday cakes. He passed the park where she pushed him on swings until her wrists hurt. He passed the corner store where she had worked double shifts after his father died. Every street carried a memory he had abandoned. When he finally